Hello everyone and welcome to a new pre-modern video by the Moxforge. Today was another sweet reanimation decklist made by a donation from Celestial Heathen again. So I'm pretty hyped about the deck and I'm pretty grateful to have the chance to play it again. Yes, thank you very much for your donation, Celestial Heathen, and let's see what the deck will deliver this time. We played a very similar list on the channel a while back, so I will link this into the video description. I think it's one of the most popular videos we ever made with over 3,000 views, and it's a really cool watch. But let's just take a look at the decklist today, and let's talk about the differences to the decklist we played last time. So this time we have a similar mana base like in the first video, so we got a 4 of Underground River, Gemstone Mine and City of Brass, and 2 basic swamps. So in total we got 14 lands to play. These are combined with Lotus Petal's 18 mana sources we have to operate with. So in the 1-drops, nothing much changed. We still got 3 Duress to play, playsets of Dark Ritual, Careful Studies, Cabal Therapies and Reanimate. But in the 2 slots, a bit changed. So Celestial Heathen decided to go down with Animate Dead. And I am a fan of that, because I think it's pretty mediocre. You can't reanimate your Akroma, or it will die immediately. And yeah, with the amount of naturalize and disenchant effects in the format, and I guess if I understand it correctly, it can even be stifled. So it's not a great showing of Animate Dead. I think it's necessary to play it probably, but besides that, probably not too great. We still got 4 of Unmask, but we got a few changes in the creature base. So the last decklist played for Akroma, Angel of Wrath, 2 Worms and a Verdant Force. We don't have the Verdant Force anymore, and we don't have Animate Dead number 4. But now we got 2 of Butcher Orgg, which I'm really hyped about. I really want to see this in action, because it has the ability to, decimate your opposing small creatures. So it's kind of a rocks or thorn elemental with a very high upside, as you may choose to divide the damage like to your opponent, to creatures. This should really shine against decks like White Weenie or Blue White Weenie or Elves or Goblins. So pretty hyped to test it out. And now the biggest changes in the sideboard. So in the first video, you can see linked in the description, we played 3 show and tell. And these are now 3 Oath of Druids. I think a pretty strong card, and in general hard to handle for many decks. I like the fact that it's a recursive way to get creatures into play. And last time we played 4 naturalize. These are 3 disenchant effects now. I really love this this change, because from the green decks or from the Reanimator decks, blue-black, the opponents often name naturalize with something like Cabal Therapy or Meddling Mage, and we don't pay any cost for just bringing in Disenchant over naturalizers, because we have Rainbow lands anyway, and the Swamp and Underground River can't cast naturalize or Disenchant. And besides that, we still got 3 out of 4 Engineered Plagues, but it was added to 2 Sickening Dreams, which I really like. 4 Duress in the sideboard, and what I love is the addition of 3 Multani Maro-Sorcerer. So I think we can have a great time here playing these. And yeah, really hyped about this deck. Maybe a very personal story here. We started playing some Paper Modern again with a good friend, and we talked so much about the Reanimator decks back in our days when Akroma was there, and It was such a brutal card, and Phantom Nishoba, and we talked exactly about the fact that the creatures were so strong, but you were able to handle them. And yeah, there are Swords to Plowshares, there is Chain of Vapor, there are Wrath of God effects, and as in newer formats, you have most of the time the #1 target you want to reanimate. You have a bigger variety in pre-modern. For each situation, you got something you can do. And on the other side, it's really interesting because we don't have Entomb yet in the format. Let me say yet. I hope it will be unbanned anytime. So you are relying on unmasking yourself, playing Cabal Therapy on yourself, or play Careful Study to ditch the creatures. Yes, let's dive into the matches. Again, thank you very much for the donation, Decklist, and I hope you have a great time with me. So please follow, subscribe, and comment, and see you later. Alright everyone, we are on the play here, so let's see if we can craft a really unfair hand. We got a lot of disruption, and I see a line where you can sneak something with Duress and follow up with Cabal Therapy and Reanimate, but this could backfire pretty quickly if he's on cheap creatures, or if he's not playing any creatures at all, so I will take a mulligan here. Alright. So turn 1, Phantom Nishoba. It could work. I think it's great enough to keep. So I think to do turn 1 Phantom Nishoba, I need Nishoba, Gemstone Mine, Exhume, or Reanimate. I can make the Duress. Yeah, I will go all in here. Ship the Exhume, make 3 mana, and play all my cards here. I hope this is enough. Could be bad against something like double Swords to Plowshares, but then I might adjust my plan here. So, Duress you. Pillage. Okay, this seems like a really great matchup for this play here. Okay, we take 8 damage, but 7 damage, but this will be safe again next turn. Hitting double Jackal Pup is a bit tempting, but the Phantom Nishoba play is way better here. So let's do some reanimated stuff here. Really exciting to start like this. So Phantom Nishoba. And this deck. The other play would have been to just don't play Duress and go for Exhume. But now we got a lot of information. We get a lot of things covered. Yeah, what will he do here? I think he's in a frustrating spot if he's on mono red. Even his land destruction will probably not be good enough. Because with Phantom Nishoba, every damage it takes, it will be prevented, and you just remove a counter. It's bad against a 1/1 creature, but it's good against 8/8 creatures, something like this. I don't know, maybe he has a white splash, so we are not completely safe here for game 1, but we are in a pretty decent position. Okay, Jackal Pup #1. This will hurt if he blocks. Okay, another Reanimate. It's not bad, to be honest. At some point we can reanimate something from his side. And if he blocks here, I think it's tempting to reanimate the Jackal Pup immediately. It's funny, it's like kind of the opposite. So what am I winning if I go for Jackal Pup? If I go for Jackal Pup, Reanimate, I could flashback Cabal Therapy, but for what? The thing is, if he ports this for a while, he will die to this. If he wastelands, yeah, I think we can. I'm not sure. I want to keep it around for a bit longer. We might can get into a position where we don't have mana anymore to reanimate something, but yeah, this will still be a 5/5 after another Jackal Pup block. And then he needs a lot of burn spells. He goes to 7 there. At some point we can even reanimate that again if we want to. Okay, Ritual is not great here, but it could be good later. Because at some point we could really stumble on mana. So the sweet thing here, it has Trample. So no blocking shenanigans. Block sack. We still got life. I hope the game stabilizes a bit, because it's still a bit shaky here on my side. Yeah, maybe I've needed to reanimate Jackal Pup. I'm not sure at this point. I mean, it's still a problem for him. The Phantom Nishoba. Here's the spell which allows me to reanimate. But at that point, I'm really unsure if I want to do this. Or if I just want to keep it around for a more explosive turn. So this is a 4/4 now. He goes to 3. So reanimating is really tempting. Because otherwise, if he has 3 mana, he goes to 2 due to the Jackal Pup damage. So with this in mind, even the Blistering Firecat to block 1 turn is not enough. So I will keep this around. Maybe I need to reanimate this again. But we got some life to play here. Yeah, this was a great starting point for us. And I don't know if Akroma would have had the same impact here. I guess she would have. But having some delayed lifelink is pretty sweet. Okay, this is a big red Sligh deck. So we probably will face an amount of graveyard hate. So the Oath of Druids plan should really shine here. I mean, Engineered Plague is tempting, but I don't think it's the thing you want to do. How about Multani? Not sure about that. I don't think we need to board too much. So there could be very strong artifacts and enchantments on the opponent's side, but I think we are just the faster deck. Do I want to have Multani over Butcher Orgg? I don't think so. Because I think he has the ability to dump his hand pretty quickly. So 3 cards to cut here. And even this is tough for me. Maybe I wanted Duress. I don't know. Maybe I don't want any of this Duress. I'm completely unsure here, but I think my plan is just to be faster. And I think Duress is hindering me with this plan. Because as you saw in game 1, we just got a card like this. Could be a funny blowout if he has exactly 2 Jackal Pups, but then he can even play his burn spells in response. Yeah, I try to go all in here, and just to be faster. As you saw, he had a pretty decent plan to destroy our miner base. So I don't think we are here in for the long game. Okay, having Oath of Druids is great, but we will face a lot of land destruction, so I'm not sure if it's fast enough. The good thing is, I think I will keep this, and depending on his first play, I will just draw card number 8 and discard the Butcher Orgg. Maybe if I find a card like Lotus Petal, I will go immediately for the Oath of Druids, but careful study. Okay, this changes the mass, because we can hope to find Lotus Petal immediately or a land for a follow-up turn. But I don't know, I feel a bit better just to go to discard, to not run into the problem that he top decks Tormod Script and Wasteland, and then we are so far behind. This will take some amount of damage for us, like 7 damage. He needs 2 bolts then for that. Yeah, I have to go with my gut here, and I think this is a decent plan. Against a Sligh deck, I would play it completely different, but with his parts of mana denial, I felt a bit better like this. Okay, the Grim is here. Lotus Petal. So again, I think I want to change my plan to get Oath of Druids down. Yeah. I think it's just best to... I could Exhume here, but then we lose to 6 amount of damage, which I'm pretty sure he can just make. And if I remember correctly, the mono red deck has not many ways to handle Oath of Druids. Just something like Nevinyrral's Disc, but we are way faster than that. That's a bit awkward. He can just kill both of his creatures, but then we are in a level like, yeah. Then I think it's favored us for the late game. And now, if he's not having immediately the answer here for the Gemstone Mine plus Oath of Druids, he's probably thinking about killing his creatures and try for the late game, because if we are flipping Akromas and Phantom Nishobas here, he will have a really, really bad time. Yeah, I really like this attempt of Oath of Druids in the sideboard. Looks promising. Yeah, here it is. Exactly what I mean. I'm not sure. I don't know every card of the... Yeah, here he's going for his own creatures. I don't know. Yeah. It's like we're just drawing here, and at some point we discard Phantom Nishoba, go for the Reanimate, and then he needs to flip. But this is like he did a 3-4. So he killed everything on his side, even was kind of forced to take damage from the lightning bolt. This could change the map. Okay, here I think it's fine to start reanimating. This is card number 8, so I might wait one more turn to go for Phantom Nishoba, because it has a higher impact here. Then he has a blind flip for the Oath of Druids, but if he accepts this, and he has an answer for the Phantom Nishoba, we will be in a quick territory of... Okay, now I have to think. If I do a reanimate here, I will take 8 damage. So I go to 6. And then we could die pretty easily. So maybe it's just better to play careful study to do digging here. I know it sounds really odd what I do here, but it feels bad to go to 6 against this deck. And now his plan is just to accumulate some burn. He probably has the answer for the Underground River now. So this could be the exact spot where I misplayed, but I'm not sure. Him having 5 cards in hand. And don't forget that it's a delay trigger for Phantom Nishoba. I mean, at some point, Blistering Firecat will be a great card. Maybe. I think I should just reanimated his Grim Lavamancer. This would probably have been the right play. To start the sub-game of Oath of Druids. A tough spot. Please write into the comment section how you would have played it. But yeah, this would have been really uncomfortable to go to this low amount of life. Here's a Blistering Firecat, and this is a problem. So he will flip it now. I don't know why he was not just paying 4 mana to have 1 more red. Yeah, but I think it was completely right to not reanimate my Phantom Nishoba. We might die here. I think the point where I misplayed was where I didn't reanimate his 1-drop. This would have been the right subgame to play. But it was funny that you could see the changing dynamic. So we are still live here. If we get any black mana, we have so much Dark Rituals here that we could really stabilize. This is a problem, chipping in some damage. So any black mana source would be sweet. Probably ship 1 Animate Dead here. I feel like kind of dead, but I want to see the damage in total. Maybe he's stuck with a lot of creatures and mana denial in hand. Okay, this seems lethal. Yeah, good game. Really, really interesting. Here would have been the mana source, so 5 black mana. Exhume on Akroma. Yeah, I think still felt right to play like this. Feeling a bit unsure about Reanimate in general. But maybe I shouldn't take... I mean, Reanimate is a problem. Maybe I want to have some Duress. But I could get more and more aggressive with... Him knowing about Oath of Druids is bringing us into a bad spot, kind of bad spot. I will try a bit here. Like with 2 Reanimate. I still think Oath of Druids is decent. So as you saw a second ago, if I just would have the black mana source 1 turn earlier, he would have faced Akroma and Phantom Nishoba. So let's see. Okay, this is a turn 1 Phantom Nishoba. This has to be good enough, right? So make 3 mana. I need to Animate Dead. And I can't Unmask in the same turn. Yeah, I want to try this. It's decent. So wait. Cabal me or Unmask. I think it's kind of the same, but now I have the Unmask up. On the play, it seems really strong. So he has no graveyard interaction turn 1. Or before we have our turn 1. So discard Phantom Nishoba, animated. It's a statement. And with the careful studies in hand, if this not gets handled immediately by Wasteland, it might be good enough. He still has 8 cards, so we have 2. And 2 very weak at this point. I mean, the looting is fine, but he will be in pretty defensive state for a while. As a point where he could play Anarchy, it's probably too late. I'm not even sure if I want to fire up Careful Study, but I mean, I can let both of these go. And I hope to find some amount of lands. Because he will have his mana bound to our Phantom Nishoba for a while. So let's stick. So Careful Study. Land Reanimate would be sweet. I don't know. Do I go for the Unmask? I think I try to go for the Unmask. Because I don't have immediately the Reanimate spell, and I think here I can maybe pick a key card. Okay, here's the Tormod's Crypt. It's not great at this point. So I think it's probably best to pick... I don't know. Maybe I need to pick Tormod's Crypt to go the route with the second reanimation spell, but Wasteland handles my Underground River. So I think it might be better to take the Bolt. He was not playing Tormod's Crypt turn 1. This is really odd. Tough call. So if I take one of these, he will bring this to a 3/4. And later he gets this. But I still think it's right to take the Tormod's Crypt. 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs to spend everything to stop this somehow. Yeah, let's go by the gut. I think the first Phantom Nishoba won't get there. And if we just take one burn spell, this will not work out. We still got Cabal Therapy in graveyard. So at some point, if it's small enough, I will just do a flashback to get both Blistering Firecats. So I'm really happy that the Tormod's Crypt is gone. Plus him not playing it was, I don't know, kind of a sign for me. Okay, Dark Ritual is not great, but it's not bad either. Because at some point it will just allow us to go from 1 mana to 3 mana. So we will get the first Blistering Firecat soon. But I mean, the Phantom Nishoba can even be on blocking duty for a while. But I just think I will attack it. Still a 3/4. So if he's not blocking immediately, and then it can kill another Firecat, this is in for the grind now. This is fine for me. Reanimation spell, and I would be so happy. Oath of Druids, sadly uncastable at this point. But we got a lot of life to play with. And he needs to throw everything before the Nishoba. So he will get to play one more Firecat at the morph. So Cabal Therapy is not great anymore. But at some point I can just do a flashback if I draw another creature I want to reanimate. Still having 9 life. So we are not favored here. Okay. So this can attack for one more turn. And I don't think you want to block here, right? I don't know, maybe. We need to find mana source. Best would be a Lotus Petal plus reanimation spell. Okay, let's attack. So here he has to block probably, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trade it against 5 cards and make 13 life. Okay, we are running into similar problems like game 2. Still don't need to flashback Cabal Therapy. We need some mana source and still a card like Reanimate or Lotus Petals. We are in a bad spot here. I think he can recover better than us, but it's not over yet. He's bringing in 4 damage a turn. Yeah, this was a really fun match to this point and still ongoing, but I'm not really sure how this will go. Okay, no attack. Here's the city. I still need something more. Like Lotus Petal or Reanimation Spell. Something like this. Man, I love Reanimator. Don't want to. And we have so great draws left. So if we somehow get Oath of Druids online, he might have the same play like game 2. Get rid of this and control us. Another Cabal Therapy. Okay, we are stacking up here. We still got some life to play with. So, really not sure what he's keeping in hand. So Lotus Petal is great. Underground River is not great. This is card number 8. I'm not sure. He will just start. I think I will fire things up with Cabal Therapy. Targeting him. And then I name something like... I have no clue. Pillage. I think Pillage is the only card you wouldn't have played until now. Yeah. Here's Pillage plus Mountain. So I don't think we have anything from dropping a land here. So it might just be right to ditch Phantom Nishoba. I mean, he soon has lethal on board, because this is 7, 9, 13. 2.5 more turns left for us. This adds something to the clock. Here's the Exhume. So when is the Blistering Firecat sacked? At the beginning of the end step, okay. So here's one unknown card in hand. We will go for Exhume, Phantom Nishoba. Okay, what is something we really don't want to see here? Still the question, he would have played it, right? So I go for Underground River. And then I go for Dark Ritual. Fire up first Cabal Therapy. And I think because this is the highest blowout, I will just name Anarchy. So he can get a Jackal Pup. Another mountain. Okay, this is fine for me. So now we go for the Exhume. He will probably get Jackal Pup. So 3 Phantom Nishoba in graveyard. Get 1 here, and we still got the same chain of land drop, Dark Ritual, if we draw any Cabal Therapy, Dark Ritual, if we draw any amount of reanimation. And here it was really important for us to play Underground River, to not fall into the situation where he will kill us with ports on our City of Brass. Man, what a game! What a game! We are still not safe in any way. He could attack with 2 Blistering Firecats. But then we could block 1. I think it's 50-50 at this point. We are both really heavily relying on our draws. If I attack with this, he can just block with 1 of this, but I go to 25. He's still kind of forced to port me. Otherwise, I can go Oath of Druids. Man, Phantom Nishoba is strong. This is just a beast. Literally. Yeah, this is fine. It's not the place he wants to be. Oh, and here's the Animate Dead. So attack with this. I could even Reanimated Blistering Firecat there, but this would be bad against any burn spell. Okay, so let's do it. Play City of Brass. Make black mana. Be really careful here, because this mana source has a trigger, and if you misclick on the mana, you won't be able to rewind. Okay, again, Cabal Therapy naming Anarchy, because this would be the card making us lose this pretty stable game. Pyroblast, okay. This is not a good one here. And then let's just go for another Phantom Nishoba. Fingers crossed that he won't top deck Anarchy. It might happen, and at this point I would ask myself if I was too greedy this turn. But I want to seal the deal here. Anarchy is pretty rare in the sideboards, but you can lose to this. And it would be funny, to be honest. Yes! Alright, everyone, we are on the draw here, but with a pretty decent hand. This is a possible turn 1 Nishoba. Bit sad that we are on the draw, but I will really keep this. This is everything you want to have from a Reanimator list. if we draw something like Careful Study, we can even cast Unmask before we Exhume. So let's see what we are up against. And if turn 1 Phantom Nishoba is enough. I mean, Phantom Nishoba is such an interesting card. Like, in general, in pre-modern, the Reanimator deck is so interesting because there's not a single creature which will warp the whole game, but even the Phantom Nishoba can be made smaller and smaller. So here's the question. Do I just go into discard to have the Unmask for my opponent? And I think this is the right thing to do. Otherwise, I need to spend these 2 cards to discard Phantom Nishoba. But this could be great. I don't know. Let's try turn 1 Phantom Nishoba. Is it better to pitch Reanimate? I don't know. I think for the first card, Reanimate could get an opposing creature. So I try. Kaplusen Forest doesn't tell us much. So discard Phantom Nishoba, and if the coast is clear in my opponent's graveyard, I will lead with the Exhume. Again, here it's not super important, but be careful what color you choose on City of Brass. Due to the trigger, you can't rewind it, and I've seen a lot of people losing games on misclicking or having a lag and misclick. All right, this is what we have. I don't want to play Lotus Petal because if we find something like Careful Study, we have a bit more choice. Oath of Druids, probably, yeah. It's fine. It's like we will flip a lot of awesome creatures. Attack with this. And now is the point where I want to play the Lotus Petal to not run it into something like what it's called, Sphere of Resistance. So now it's interesting how deep he will see the first Terra War. If it's super huge, we might have trouble, but if it's just 7/7 or 6/6, okay, this is a small one. Next one will be bigger, but I think I will just start reanimating his stuff. So here it's important that we take really the reanimate. Otherwise, our our own Terra War will be smaller than his. And as this is funny, because now he's forced to block this. And because he wants to have the second flip. And we just go for... I can even drop the city here and say, black mana, give me your Terra War. So both Terra Wars are the same amount of power now. So he's forced to block my Terra War. He might have Bolt in upkeep on my Terra War, but then I will just Animate Dead. Yeah, he can't flip now, I guess. This is 16/16. He's forced to trade here. And then I will Animate Dead again, and this will be lethal soon. He goes to 2. I mean, he can drop another Terra War, but then he's still forced to block and I can animate. Yeah, having these reanimation spells, which are able to target opposing creatures, they are really great and they give a completely new angle to the matches. Like, it's scary what this Reanimator deck is capable of doing. Another Oath. Okay, I'm not scared by that, to be honest. Another city. So attack here. Bring him to exactly 2. If he fetches, he's at 1. Okay, he has 2 more Terraoaths to find. So now it's getting a bit ugly. So if he... Now he can find 1 Terraoath. They will be huge. One Terraoath, which is huge. And which can never attack. So the problem is that my Terraoath will be 1 power smaller than his. But I think it's still worth it. I mean, he will flip into both Terraoaths, but then he's, depending on his cards in library, he's close to just be dead. He might have naturalized for my Animate Dead later, so we are still not safe here, but I think it's the best play we can do. And yeah, as soon as I am able to flip with the Oath of Druids, he's really in trouble. But this is a very nice sub-game here, with me having the Terraoath with 1 power less. So this is just a blocker to not take damage. Okay, 3 cards. But then, like, everything he has is gone. We are on 33 life. We still have the ability, and we can make a double block with our Terraoath. And this is what I meant. 2 cards left in library. So he's with a wall on the, with the back on the wall. And he has to do the attack next turn. If he's having naturalized for this, he can get it to 26. Yeah, then it's lethal. So this is a funny sub-game. If he has exactly naturalize, 2 are gone. So there will be 1 more in library or graveyard or hand. Then he wins the game. This is funny. I wouldn't even be mad if I still lose this. Would be really funny. We can still top deck a lot of cards, and he has to wait with naturalize for our turn. Okay. Yeah, this was pretty close. Terra was going out of hand pretty quickly. So what's our plan here? I think, I don't know. Multani Maro-Sorcerer seems to be like a trap. I still think we have to be fast. Yeah, the Multani Maro is probably not good enough. Animate Dead is a bit awkward to play. And even my Disenchants are probably not worth it. Yeah, the plan to just reanimate his creatures is not too bad. So Butcher Orgg. Do I want to... I think Butcher Orgg is maybe slightly worth than Multani Maro-Sorcerer, but I'm not sure. Yeah, let's try it probably like this. I mean, there are arguments for Disenchant. Let's try it like this. It worked out pretty well. Disenchant to just... I don't know. I can't go into the late game against him, I guess. So in general, this matchup seems kind of tough. But we can steal the games. So the problem is he has a huge Terraoath or two. It's really dangerous for us, and we just have Akroma to fly over them, but he's way faster and he can just interact well with our deck. This is not great. But it could be great with any creature because I can unmask myself. I'm tempted to keep this. Could be completely wrong, but in other cases you're going to small amount of cards in hand just to lose against turn 1 Tormod script. So I'm going with my gut feeling here. Careful Studies, not bad. But I will lead with Duress to hopefully get an Oath of Druids. Maybe Sylvan Library. This is fine. He can start porting soon, but it's cool that my Unmask can get his Terraoath. So if he has exactly Mox Diamond, this is a problem for us, but if I draw anything like a card like Reanimate, it would be great. So here it's cool to play Careful Study, I guess. We'll go for Wasteland. This. Okay, we still got... I think we ship Careful Study, right? Let's do it. So he's forced to either... so he can go for my mana, but then he can't play Terraoath. Wasteland. Yeah, I think it would be best for him to go for my mana. On the other hand, I can just draw Dark Rituals or Lotus Petals. But he needs to go to the controllish plan. So as he is having another Wasteland, I won't drop. So now I could drop this. So he's forced to do the exactly same play. I think I can do this one more time. If he's doing the same play, like we still have the ability to draw Dark Ritual or Lotus Petal, and we are just time walking him here. So we are putting him directly into this kind of place. So if I drew Reanimation Spell or Dark Ritual, I will go for Unmask. And even without, I might play Unmask. So the problem is if I Unmask and... Okay, here's the Oath. This is a problem now. I mean, I try to be faster, right? I go for this. Then I say... It could be a problem, so I'm hoping that he's not drawing too many... not top decking too many of the cards, which are lands. So I will start like this. Then I attack. And I just try to get in some turns. And my next play will be to get rid of this Terraoath in hand. Otherwise, this could be a problem if he is just flipping into 20 lands. So I will ditch the Exhume here. Maybe I'm forced to play another Unmask. Okay, Naturalize is doing nothing here. So this can stay around for a while. 3 cards in hand, which is Naturalize, Mishra's Factory, and Treetop Village. The manlands are kind of scary. I mean, Naturalize is good against our Animate Dead. So let's not forget this. But it's cool that I can block with my... Yeah, here it is what I mean. Like sometimes they are just unlucky and flip into things like this. So feeling sorry for my opponent. Sylvan Library, okay. This will be not great. This is a great draw. So do I go for Terraoath? I don't think so. Otherwise he will have another flip here. Let's get rid of the Naturalize. Yeah, this is not adding anything to our board if we would have went for the Terraoath, because it would have one less power and he would have the ability to flip again. And this is bigger than the Terraoath. Man, what a match. I love PREMODERN. So he still has the ability to win the damage race. If he has Fetch Land now, for example. Okay, but with Fetch Land he would have to face a lethal Akroma. Maybe Land Destruction spell, but then... I'm feeling a bit favored here. I don't want to... Anything can happen still. Like him having crop rotation into something and then it's getting wild, but... Yeah, we still got a lot of room here. Multani is not great in this matchup. There are some blowout cards you can play as a Reanimator, like Perish, but I don't think it's worth it. One factory in hand and a wild card. So how can we lose this? Taking for 9. Is he hoping that if we block this, we take 6. If we block this, he will flip again. And then, I think this is fine. Yeah, it seems a bit desperate here. So if I block this, yeah, block Terraoath. He's out of mana, so he can't do double crop rotation or crop rotation fetch. And then I will reanimate one Terraoath for sure. But is this helping me to reanimate Terraoath? Animate Dead Terraoath. Flip. Yeah, it's a blocker. I'm tempted here to go Lotus Petal. Don't take any more extra damage. I don't know what he's planning, but this will be activated anyway, or triggered. So it feels a bit better to have a blocker here. So attack, man. Good old Akroma. Just ordered my personal copy number 4. So if you win this opponent, I will be so stunned. Maybe he's flipping into something insane. Yes, GG's. Alright, everyone, we are on the draw here with a pretty decent hand. So we get some information from our opponent turn 1, and we can decide to go for Cabal Therapy. Man, this is strong. I will lead with Careful Study, so we could even draw something like Lotus Petal. Okay, and here I think it's right to ditch the Symbiotic Wurm and Akroma. And next turn we will go white, like Cabal Therapy, naming something like Counterspell or Mana Leak. Meddling Mage, okay. Hopefully it's not naming Reanimate. This would really hurt. Here it's Reanimate, it's not possible. So we need to dig deeper. This could be UB Flippi. Okay, here we got the Death, we got the Exhume. Discard this one and Reanimate. And then I think Cabal Therapy naming probably Meddling Mage or Swords to Plowshares. I feel a bit better naming. I think I can name Swords to Plowshares. There's even an argument for naming any amount of Counterspell. Yeah, we hit the sword. Ah, I love UB Flippi. So he might play Standstill. I mean, Worship is a problem, so we have to get rid of this by flashbacking Cabal Therapy next turn. So Symbiotic Wurm is our line. Yeah, Standstill is fine for me. This is not a problem yet. Worship is a problem. Another Akroma. Okay, let's think a bit. Do I want to play another Careful Study here? I mean, for what? To find another discard spell? Maybe, but then we need to play into a card like Days. We are a bit back here, but I hope that we can recover with our 7 insects. So, Cabal Therapy, we have to name Worship. Stifle would be funny. Stifle this trigger. Okay, because against Worship, I think we would lose immediately. Because we have nothing like Lagvatus Champion. I hope it's just one Worship in the deck. Okay, Silver Knights and Exalted Angel. These will all do a lot of damage. So double Silver Knight, 2 planes, 1 Exalted Angel. He's doing white weenie things. Let's play Careful Study here, as the field is clear. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit favored, because I'm having the better angel. Duress is sweet, so let's ditch this too. Maybe it was wrong. So Duress will hit nothing yet. So I could have kept City of Brass. I don't know if this would have been better. And I will get a lot of damage in now with Akroma. So I might fire up Duress right now to see if the coast is clear against the counterspell or Swords to Plowshares. Everything would be pretty good against us. So here's the Morphed Angel, which is fine for us. I don't think the insects should attack to bring in 5 damage. Okay, Unmask is way better. So even if I whiff here, I can pick a Silver Knight. Ha, here's the days, okay. Days and Silver Knight. I can play around days, so let's take a Silver Knight here. But this could have been a disaster. Go for colorless, go for black, take a lot of damage here. So cast Death, which is kind of reanimate. I could target Phantom Nishoba, but I don't think it's great against this first strike creatures. I mean, it's tough. Just imagine how fast I can lose against his deck. So if I attack, he goes to 9. And then he's facing lethal damage next turn. I want to pay for this. So if I attack with everything, I'm weak to his counter attack. If I attack with everything, he goes to 9. Then I got these 2 left, and he's facing 2, 3. Not lethal next turn. So I think it might be best to just attack with Akroma. Because he's kind of forced to draw exactly Swords to Plowshares, Chain of Vapor, something like this. Alright, this was enough for him. He probably saw the writing on the wall. Okay, Oath of Druids should really shine. I feel kind of forced to bring in something like Disenchant. But this just might be too much. Multani is probably not too good. I mean, maybe better than Butcher Orgg. Oh, this is really overboarding, I guess. Sickening Dreams to shoot damage to each creature and player. This seems tempting. So, this is hard. What to cut? Unmask is not too great, probably. So I think I have to leave in some amount of disenchants. Multani could be a bit awkward against him having Mother of Runes, which could just block for a while. Maybe cut 1 Duress, cut 1 Reanimate. I want to see Butcher Orgg in action. I don't know how good the Symbiotic Wurm is. Probably better than Butcher Orgg, but I don't know. The first strike is giving me a headache. So if he has a worship now, we can draw Disenchant or Sickening Dreams. Okay, this is turn 1 Oath of Druids, turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Oath of Druids. This seems tempting. So he might have a daze, but I'm fine with setting him back 1 turn. Okay. I will just ship the turn. Go into discard for Multani. This could backfire, to be honest, but just imagine he's now playing Meddling Mage, naming... Oh man, this is awesome. Naming Reanimate, and we go for Exhume. Okay, Cabal Therapy. So, is it right to go with Dark Ritual? I think the answer is yes. And then I can decide to... I will lead with Duress. I can play everything Daze Proof. If he's having Daze and another counterspell, Memory Lapse is fine. I still think I want to play Exhume. If he has Daze, then I can still set up my Oath of Druids. Oh, here it is. He needs Hibernation or he will be in trouble pretty quickly. Having Duress on the top deck is great. Mother of Runes could be a problem. Okay, this is the Angel. So he tries to start a damage race here, which he's favored, I guess. So the thing is, this is not interacting well. So I'm feeling kind of forced to go like this into Oath of Druids. If he plays Daze, he can't flip this. I'm fine with that. And if he's just forced to play around this, we have the ability to find more reanimation. I mean, we can even sacrifice our Multani. Okay, flipping this, attacking. Yeah, this is a sweet one. This goes go to 13. I feel forced to play Duress there to not lose against something like Worship. So attack here for 8, he goes to 5, he goes to 9 after attacking, if he plays nothing. And yeah, this won't work out in my favor, so I need to lead here with a Duress, and maybe I need to flash back. Okay, Disenchant, Swords to Plowshares. So how to play this? Takes a Disenchant for sure. So the question is, do I want to This will be smaller and smaller, and he will start to win the damage race. So I feel kind of forced to say, like, Cabal Therapy, you would have been better if we get 3 cards out of it. But let's try our best. Name Swords to Plowshares. He's having 2 Flooded Strand in hand. Plus, he has the ability to just top deck a Disenchant. Stifle, something like this. So here we name, like, Lightning Dragon. Do I want to drop a land? I don't think so. Really interesting spot. So nothing is won or lost here. He has a lot of good top decks, I guess. Even a Warship would give us a headache. But it will be interesting what we will flip into with the Oath of Druids. Yeah. Akroma would be best, I guess, or Phantom Nishoba. This is fine. You can have it. So this is probably the best draw for us if he just has a land, which is costing us 1 land. So he's going to 9, we go to 10. So let's see what we are oathing into. Yes. Even a Reanimate from top. So Reanimate would just get... this is really interesting. Would get a Multani Maro-Sorcerer and we would be dead. Of course, we take 6 damage in the process. If he has something like Swords to Plowshares, okay, Tormod Script is fine for me. Could be a problem later, but there would have been so many more bad draws he could get. This is funny to pop it here. Not sure about this. So I think his only out kind of is Disenchant plus Sword. And now we got the big Exalted Angel. I can ship through this turn. Careful study. Okay, let's attack first. Hopefully this connects. It does. I'm not sure if I want to land anything from that. Because for now this is fine if I add another creature with Reanimate to the board. Let's play this back and forth for a while. He needs to handle Oath, and then we can plus Phantom Nishoba. And he has 2 Flooded Strands in hand. I'm not sure. I'm super impressed by the Reanimator deck. And I like how fair it is kind of in the format. Like Swords to Plowshares is every time the answer if you don't have Ishan's Shade. And even all the creatures you have can be raised or can be handled. I've seen games where Phantom Nishoba was taken down by a Goblin Sharpshooter. So show me the sword. Otherwise, this will be lethal next turn. So now I think I want to try a careful study. Maybe if I find discard. Cabal Therapy plus Exhume. So I did Lotus Petal plus... I don't know. This is tough. I think it's right to go City and Petal. Maybe Exhume is not the right thing. But he's still in the... Okay, GG's. Alright everyone, we are on the play here, which is always great with Reanimator. So here we are missing a reanimation target. And I don't think I want to rely on drawing this, so I take a mulligan here. Okay, this is turn 1 Phantom Nishoba. So what do I want to keep? I mean, there's a small argument for starting with the Duress. Let's see, if I ship this, I can't play turn 1 Phantom Nishoba, but the upside of having this turn 1 is so huge that I think I might go all in here. And I think I want to... yeah, good question. This is tough. Maybe it's more correct here to start with Duress on my opponent, but then we are weak against Wasteland, something like this. So I will unmask myself, discarding, pitching Cabal Therapy to discard Phantom Nishoba, and then we go into the full Reanimate plan. It's just really weak against a deck like playing Swords to Plowshares, but otherwise we saw this will work out for many decks. And yeah. Now we are sooner or later in top deck mode, but the second hand was way better than the first. You might have foil. Good thing with Duress is that we got covered a deck like Stifle out in some angle. Okay, this seems like Swords to Plowshares. Okay, yeah. If they have it, they have it. So let's see if our other play would have been better. But you don't know it. Against most decks, this is pretty decent. Yeah, he even has Chain of Vapor, Stifle. Yeah, I think I have to take Chain of Vapor. And then... yeah, here... So I think this is exactly the problem. Even if we started with Duress, he was on Chain of Vapor and Swords to Plowshares. I'm not scared of the Parallax Tide combo, but we have to find another Reanimator here. This is not great yet, because I need one more card to make it work, because I want to keep one around. So let's see. Can we top deck here somehow? I think it's the point where I want to play this, right? Ditch these two. Yeah, the combo of Parallax Tide plus anything is not scary for us, because we operate on less land anyway. Okay, here it is. We still have to go all in here. We can play it a bit better, I guess. Because he can just start Dust Bowling. I need to do Reanimator things here. So let's take Phantom Nishoba, because it's a bit stronger than Butcher Orgg. Yeah, we need to play like this. It won't get better anytime soon. Yeah, it's fine. We won't concede here. This is fine. So I might just, yeah, let's take the counter spell here. Not scared by the tide. He can do the whole tide thing with the Dust Bowl. Okay, tide and stifle in hand. I guess stifle works against a card like Animate Dead, because it's a trigger. Yeah, let's pile up some cards here and then set up a turn where we can reanimate it, protect it. You still need to have some amount of interaction for us. So he's not having any clock for now. This could be Stifle Note. Okay, Seal of Cleansing, it's fine. He might go immediately for the Lotus Petal, which is maybe correct, I don't know. Here's Animate Dead. Yeah, it's a trigger. So I think if they stifle the trigger, it just stays around. So this is more or less a pitch for... Okay, this is sweet. You might be forced to... Okay, Swords to Plowshares, Stifle, Parallax Tide. So Tide is a problem now, right? But Swords is a problem. Stifle is a problem. Let's go by this. Maybe it was too early. And I needed to wait for something like Dark Ritual. Bit hard to navigate this matchup. Yeah, but he had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells to interact with my plan in the top third of his deck. So a bit tough. But it's over when it's over. Okay, this is our spot now. I mean, it would be better to catch both tides, but we need to go for Stifle now. I don't know, maybe I play City of Brass to not run into Miscalculate. So now we need to get Stifle. So do we still want to reanimate the Phantom Nishoba or the Butcher Orgg? I think Phantom Nishoba is still the play. So now it depends what's happening next. I was a bit curious that my opponent was not dropping one of his tides to just prevent things like this. Yeah, the damage is done here, so he has a lot of good top decks, but here's 2 tides in hand. This is a bit late to the party, even after activating Dust Bowl there. So yeah, really interesting game. I mean, he has so many good outs, like Sea of Cleansing, like Chain of Vapor, Swords to Plowshares. I don't want to play City now. And this is lethal in 3 turns, because he can block once with Mishra's Factory. And I think here's a point where you want to do this. Otherwise, it's just draw or bust. It's flooding out with Flooded Strands here. So we might get there. And I really like that you see another angle of the deck, that you can really, in the late game, have some variety and some good plays. We're still not in great shape. So maybe with the knowledge of that, we could go for Butcher Orgg, but we still would have the problem that it would just be a 5/6 with the Animate Dead. Okay, Chain of Vapor. Yeah, this is a problem. Cabal Therapy. Aiming tight. I think I can lean back a bit, right? He needs to have some way to reduce my life from 31 to 0. And I will stack up for... Okay, next turn he can... I mean, this is interesting, the careful study. To find more... So he tapped his Dust Bowl. This is a bit odd. I think I can wait a bit longer. We just need to bring in 2 more damage. So fetching, activating this is getting more and more painful. We got a Swamp back, so he might play another Tide. Humility. Okay, it's strong, but it's not the end of the world. Because at this point we just need to stick a 1/1 around. Okay, here I think I go for Cabal Therapy, naming Tide. To protect my mana. Okay, a Mana Leak. Okay, it's not playing Mana Leak to not go to 1 life. Okay, I can understand this. Let's see. Do I want to start digging? I think I want to do this. Let's see if he wants to counter. Otherwise, I can go for Unmask. I think I want to Unmask later, right? Okay, let's pitch 2 of the Angels. Yeah, we need just to reanimate something. And him not having a card like Mishra's Factory. Double Dust Bowl, okay. I'm feeling very nice with my Swamp here. And he's kind of forced to not use Adaka Waste. Animate Dead, okay. We have the problem with Sea of Cleansing, for sure. I mean, we are still in a good position. Now we will pile up on Unmask everything. Worst cast he could have would be a Mishra's Factory right now. Yeah, we need to reanimate something without Animate Dead, because he got discovered with the Sea of Cleansing. At some point we might hardcast, okay, Decree or Rest. Yeah, now it's more or less over for us, because bringing in the damage is tough. This is fine. Okay, Reanimate. So I guess now it's a point where I want to cast Unmask. Pitching Animate Dead. This is fine for me. If he counters this, I might... If he goes for Mana Leak, I might go Dark Ritual here. Dark Ritual number 1. Okay, fair. So I think I have to pitch my second Unmask to prevent him from having another Decree, because this is the main way how we lose this. But it's amazing how good the mana leaks are still against Reanimator. Turn 22. Okay, going to 1. So he has the Decree in hand. And okay, tide is not a problem. So here I want to go for Reanimate for sure. It's a bit hefty to pay this amount of life for 1/1. But this is our way to win. We can't play it safe here. It's like 1 card, 7 life for 1/1. This is the way we do this. And in some cases, this will be enough. So if he has no manland, no decree left, I need to attack, because the decree will not make things better. I am like 99% sure he has a decree. Otherwise, we would see an Unmask resolve. Without the effect of us losing all abilities on creatures, this would still be lethal. But I will continue this game. It's like, I don't know, can I still assume damage here? This would be really odd. This should not work, to be honest. So I think it's an error. I need to pause this game for a second. So, all right, we are back. I hope you are not too confused. We both think it was an error from Magic Online. It was so bugged that that the Butcher Orgg still assigns the damage. So we were writing and we decided to restart the game. I conceded the first one, so we are not a game ahead. We are a game behind, because I could not recover from the situation, to be honest. And yeah, let's play it as fair as possible. And yeah, looking forward to the second game now. Game 1 was really tough, but we almost got there. So let's focus on game 2. So what do we want? We want Multani for sure. We need something to handle enchantments. And mostly it's the enchantment Humility. Animate Dead is not great because of Stifle and stuff like Seal of Cleansing. And now I think we can maybe trim a bit threads here. This seems not to be the right card, and I don't want to be forced to play it again like this. Besides that, what else can we cut? Maybe 3 Disenchant is too much, because this is just interacting. I mean, it's fine, but having 2 mana is pretty hard. I want to register 61 cards, because I'm having problems what to cut. Yeah, so don't be confused that there will be 25 minutes time left on the clock. We try to make the best fix possible, so we are 1 game behind here. This would be fine on the draw, because we could go immediately into discard, but here I have to take a mulligan. This is not great. Let's go to 5. We want to have Multani around. Keep this. We need to ship 2 cards. Lotus Petal is probably not the right thing to do. And I think I can justify to ditch Exhume. And now we start with some amount of discard. If we top deck any creature, we can Cabal Therapy on ourselves and then counterspell. Let's take Standstill here. Then counterspell with Cabal Therapy if we don't draw exactly creature. Okay, given that we got this low cards in hand, we have to go all in. Play Cabal Therapy on ourselves. And try to raise with Phantom Nishoba or win with Phantom Nishoba. Just playing Cabal Therapy on my opponent for 2 counterspells is not the right thing to do, because he will start attacking our mana base soon. So get Phantom Nishoba down and hope he's not drawing any sword, any Chain of Vapor. Yeah, and then let's see if he has something like this. I mean, we still need 3 more turns to go there. Be very careful to click black mana here. Otherwise, you can't rewind this due to the trigger of City of Brass. Okay, this is everything we got. This would be nice if this would have been a Wurm. So we could flashback Cabal Therapy and have 7 tokens left. So, not feeling too great, but it is what it is. You saw we got a same one in the first match, and we almost got there, even if our Phantom Nishoba got handled immediately by Swords to Plowshares. Gemstone Mine. I will keep this around for a second to not run into something like Perlextide later. So he's thinking, so probably Chain of Vapor. Meddling Mage. Okay. He goes to 1, and then he might have trouble. So 2 counter spells, 1 Dust Bow in hand, 2 wild cards. Careful study. Yeah. He's probably on blocking duty right now. Okay, and then it's like answer for that or bust. Going to 1 means he's not having access to Wrath of God immediately. Yes. 1-1. Man, this turn 1 or turn 2 Phantom Nishoba is really doing us a favor. So what to do here? He's on Meddling Mages, so I'm a bit tempted to bring in Oath of Druids as another plan. Would be so funny to get him like this. Not sure about Disenchant. Unmask is a stretch. I'm not too sure about the Dark Rituals here, but I want to stay aggressive. Maybe Unmask can go, because this would be a bit too all-in. So I'm relying on careful study, but he named it? I'm not sure here. This could be completely wrong, but I will do a splash. And a Sickening Dreams is doing damage to players. Even this is tempting to play. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's try it like this. This seems so wild, but I want to test everything out, and yeah, maybe just imagine having Sickening Dreams game 1 to clean up after his last. This is not enough. I want to take a mulligan here. We don't have good discard. This is fine. It's a turn 1 Phantom Nishoba, which could backfire pretty quickly, but I still want to do it. to be honest. Another Reanimate. Let's go all in again. It's like if he has it, he has it. We can still recover. And it is what you want to do with Reanimator, right? Plus, if we do it now, we are not running into something like Graveyard Hate. If he has a sword, I mean, we have to go get rid of the sword anyway, but imagine if this would have been Multani and we have double Reanimate. This could make the whole game. But it is what it is. Let's try for the best here. We could even do, I think it's maybe right to do one Cabal Therapy here. We go to 5, which is a stretch, but let's name Swords to Plowshares. This was the most expensive Cabal Therapy I've ever played. Yeah, we got 2 swords, man. We could get there. What an exciting game. So, ditch 2 swords. We can't blame him because he had 0 time to respond there. And now we are suddenly in a very good shape. Yeah, this felt really good to flashback there. Still, we could easily draw another sword or a card like Chain of Vapor, but the deck is so stacked, so it seems a bit low on cards like Impulse and cantrips. Maybe he didn't saw it, but we just saw Factor of Fictions, so it's pretty high curve. This is funny. Naming Duress and we draw immediately Duress. It will be funny if he blocks here, and he might block to shrinking this down. Yeah. I have bad news for you. So the question is, I'm not thinking he's on Duress, so I will keep my Gemstone Mine. Okay, Fact or Fiction or Tide. Let's get rid of the Fact or Fiction. I'm not scared of Tide. Adaka Waste and Tide in hand. Another Meddling Mage on blocking duty, so this will be a 4/4 soon. Careful Study is decent. I think I don't want to play it right now, because I can just keep one card around, and I want to have more information. But he might start playing Tide next turn. So maybe I need to set up more. So what is my wish? I can keep one card around, but I don't think there's anything I want to just have in hand, because I need mana plus Reanimate. Man, having Reanimate on his creature would be fine. Here is the Multani, so I attack. And now, as I have a target for my or card I want to discard for my Careful Study, it's tempting to go and discard Multani. Yeah, let's try it. Again, be careful to click the right mana color. Otherwise, you can't rewind. This is great. So even if he... I mean, at some point the Multani will be very, very low. Yes! So this hand is interesting. We are on the draw. I think it's probably not a keep. If we get any mana source, we could make turn 1 Animate Dead. I think we can do better. Let's take a mulligan here. This lacks completely the mana, so I'm willing to go to 5. This is not doing anything, so I need to go to 4. Alright, this is the best we can do. We need to ship 3 cards. 1, 2... I think in many cases Phantom Nishoba is better than Akroma. So let's keep the 4 cards here. It's not amazing, but let's just try our best. Okay, this is probably Stasis. So we got... Okay, with the knowledge of Stasis, it would be way better to have Akroma around again. I want to pay this before to not run into days. Drawing Akroma again would be great, but we ship 2 on the bottom. So this is probably not possible. I will ditch a swamp, Phantom Nishoba. Then I will cast Reanimate. Man, imagine this would have been Akroma. So he needed Chain of Vapor for that. But yeah, let's try our best. Another Black Vice, okay. I might have a Chain of Vapor. Another Reanimate, so if he is forcing us to discard, to bounce this, we can somehow... Let's see. Chain of Vapor. So I think it's right to cast again Cabal Therapy on us, naming Phantom Nishoba. It seems a bit odd, but we need to take the edge of him having nothing and us resolving the Reanimate next turn. Otherwise, with the mulligan 4, we won't do much here. And it's fine if we lose. We had so many strong hands. Careful study. So I think I might dig deeper because Akroma would have the higher impact now. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, you don't win many games on Mulligan 4, but I think Reanimator is capable of doing it. He had the best answer with Chain of Vapor. I try to reanimate here, because we are not allowed to activate City of Brass too often. Going to 2 here. At some point he will have a card like Status. Okay, Boomerang. Yeah, pretty awkward to navigate, but we can activate Phantom Nishoba 2 more times. Okay, so for now I'm not 100% sure if he's on something like Stasis, because the Wall of Tears, I played it in Mono Blue Pendle Prison. This is tough. It's not a problem yet. I think here I'm feeling forced to play Careful Study to ditch some of my cards in hand. Otherwise we might lose. Duress is fine. I mean, at least I get some more information. And we have a painless mana source. Deck looks really interesting. But City of Traitors would not be in a deck like Stasis, right? You probably never need double colorless. It's sweet that I can, yeah, let's get rid of Hoodwink, and that I can ditch a card into Unmask. Man, this deck is suited up very well to beat us. But we won't concede here. This is a pitch for that. So I need one more painless mana source. Then we unmask. Okay, careful study. Not too bad, to be honest. We again can ditch some of our mana cards in hand to go lower for the Black Vice. City of Brass is nothing I want to do here. And I think even Life and Death can be discarded for now. We still get to need to handle the Chain of Vapor. Plus the card he has in hand, and then even we can just connect once probably, because he's blocking. Another Warman. So we need Akroma, and two of them are on bottom. So we are really hoping for the heart of the cards here. Lotus Petal. Yeah, play it. And I'm not sure what my opponent is on. It could be a Anketide, mono blue Anketide. But I'm really hyped to see this. Okay, now we get maybe some black. Another Unmask. I think, okay, what is the best we can do? The problem is we could connect once with Wall of Tears. This is not enough for me. Yeah, they are strong. Like I was thinking about the plan with the insects. May draw up to 3 cards. Yeah, and then I die in the upkeep. Man, this deck is sweet. Okay, if I draw, I die, so I'm not allowed. It's so funny because, up to 3 cards. Okay, I'm in for 1 card here, so if you have a Hoodwink, I don't know what's going on. I was facing a leg, I hope it's not too bugged. Phantom Nishoba. Okay, Animate Dead, Phantom Nishoba. The problem is I can't play a flyer here. But I do want to get some more information. So I take this. He has 1 Chain of Vapor left. Arcane Denial. Okay. So there's not much we can draw now. But yeah, I want to see the Jin doing lethal. I will draw 1 card here. This is really sweet. The deck never saw something like this in the format. It's funny that it's suited up very well against our deck. But on the other hand, we had a mulligan 4. So I guess there is not many games you can win. Okay, the good news is that his main plan is the Black Vice plan. And I think we are doing great at ditching the cards from our hand. Multani should be sweet. So should be the Oath of Druids. I'm not sure about the Disenchant. I don't think we need this. It's a bit sad that we are having the Modo error again, that we can't bring in 3 copies. of a sideboard card. Okay, we need to restart here. Okay, let's try again. This was really odd behavior, so I want to bring in this 6. Now it works, so I think it was kind of a fix. I can bring in Duress. Okay. So let's think about this. What do we don't want to play? So Oath of Druids could be fine, but I think I have to stay aggressive. Chain of Vapor is a problem. So we brought in 3 Multani. I mean, they are equally awkward against the walls. So I will cut down a bit on threats, I guess. I'm not sure about Careful Study. I think it's good that you can ditch some of it. And I might trim on... yeah, maybe like this. I'm not too sure. It's hard to navigate matchups you have never played and you didn't even know what opponent's doing. All right. We are on the play here. With a turn 1 Nishoba, it's so bad against Chain of Vapor or Hoodwink, but let's try this. I mean, it's not getting better, and as you saw in game 1, the game is pretty long. So I can hope he just slams a wall and we play a card like Oath of Druids. So let's do again turn 1 Nishoba. Maybe this time it's doing us a favor. He did a mulligan there, so we can assume he did the mulligan to find Chain of Vapor, something like this. But again, as you saw in game 1, if you take too many mulligans, and I think there was no keepable hand on the first one, you have the same problem too. Okay, yeah, this is just an anti-Reanimator deck. But I'm so curious to see more about it. Alright, let's start things with the Duress. I'm not scared by the Blackwise and the effects. Okay, Candy Denial in this spot is so sweet for me. Because I get 2 new cards. But I think he wants to protect something. If he's playing the Arcane Denial too aggressive. And this is what I mean, like, I draw Duress and Unmask. So let's see. I think it's correct to go Duress here. Because... okay, here's the Tide. What is a Fogbringer? It returns a land to hand. Okay. Now I'm relying a bit on my mana. So let's get rid of the Parallax. Yeah, but now I'm pretty sure it is a kind of Ankh-Tide deck with a finish of Parallax Tide and Chain of Vapor combo, maybe some amount of Stifle. So finding Oath of Druids now would be so cool. Or it is an interpretation of the Pirates deck? I don't know. Okay, still got the Chain of Vapor. So I think it's... I can't unmask and exhume in one turn. It's a bit awkward to play this for 4 mana, but I think it's the best we can do here. 2/1 flying is something. I'm not scared by wastelands in the spot. This is a 6-turn clock at maximum. Okay, Akroma, yeah, sadly not playable. I think I will leave 1 Gemstone Mine in my hand for the case that if he has another Parallax Tide. Right. We still need something more here. It's a sweet interpretation of the deck. Yeah, this happens sometimes, but let's see. We still got outs. Okay. So now we need to probably have the draw to discard 2 spell into discard. This might have been the wrong land drop. Okay, we need... This is not enough. And we can't animate anything here. Okay, this was an odd one. But yeah, we saw a pretty great deck from our opponent. So I'm not even mad about it. It happens sometimes. So GG's. Sweet deck. Right, we are on the on the draw here, but I think I want to keep this. Could be Elves. Elves is interesting because we got some good sideboard cards and the Butcher Orgg. So let's see. Hopefully it's not the Elves who supports or Wastelands. Drawing Lotus Petal would be great. Okay, so ditch Butcher Orgg, ditch Phantom Nishoba. And now I want to unmask my opponent to set everything up. So hopefully he's not having just creatures, otherwise I'm a bit forced to Exhume there. Yeah, getting Tanglewire. This is game changing. Unmask is strong. I think it's really underplayed. So Tribal Force Mage, and I think here is exactly what Celestial Heathen was planning while he added the Butcher Orgg. Okay, Unmask is not live yet, but it still can be great later. So let's start exhuming. And I think getting Butcher Orgg here, my opponent could still draw Tanglewire or just do block and flip next turn. So he has 6 damage for that. Yeah, we are not here yet. Maybe I need to reanimate Phantom Nishoba to have the delayed lifelink and to protect it from getting killed. So we need to find another reanimation spell, I guess. otherwise he has 9 power here. So this will just trade against 2 elves? Okay. I don't know. I think he conceded too early there. Okay, Oath is probably broken. So is Engineered Plague. Sickening Dreams should work. And what do we cut? I'm not a fan of Duress, I guess. Like, we can get something out of his hand, but do we want to play Careful Study? I'm not sure, to be honest, but I'm not even sure about the Dark Rituals. I mean, they could enable an Engineered Plague. Okay, 5 cards to cut. Symbiotic Wurm is just good. I don't know how good Reanimation is on my side. Or Animate Dead, as he will probably bring in an amount of naturalizers. Yeah, the concession was quick from my opponent. He could have just flipped the Tribal Force Mage, so I would traded my Orc against 2 of his creatures. Yeah, getting the Tangle Wire there was really important. Okay, this is not enough. So I want to take a mulligan here. This is way better. Keep this. We can decide between turn 1 Oath of Druids or turn 1 Akroma. I think Akroma is the way to do. Cause if we go kind of all in, and he will just have a neutralize effect for the Oath of Druids. Yeah, okay. Butcher Orgg is not bad. Maybe it's Butcher Orgg. So draw 2, discard 2, Sickening Dreams is sick. I guess Butcher Orgg has the higher impact, right? He needs to handle this immediately, otherwise I will kill everything on his side. I can even clear the coast. Man, turn 1 Butcher Orgg against Elves. This is exactly what we want to see. Yeah, good games. Alright everyone, we are back after 6 amazing rounds, and man, the deck delivered so well, but I mean, we are spoiler here, if you want to watch this before, we played like 5-1, and the only loss was against the anti-Reanimator Jin deck. I will link the deck list in the video description my opponent played, and he even want to upload it in YouTube, his league. But it is so funny, there are at least 10 cards in the main deck which can handle a resolve Reanimator creature. And so, yeah, this is so tough to beat. But yeah, let's take a look again at the deck list, and I don't know what to say. It was amazing. I think the after video now will be pretty short because I have really no idea what I want to change. There were still some cards which I could not explore completely, like the Sickening Dreams, but the deck delivered. I don't know, we played against Big Sligh, Green-Red Terraoath, UB Flippi, UB Tide Control, and Elves, so it was a pretty stocked matches. So, and it delivered. I had so many turn 1 broken plays or turn 2, and even if my opponent could interact well. It was just strong, and it showed such a beautiful side of pre-modern. Yeah, I have to say sorry, but I don't know if I would change anything here. Maybe you could try one Ishan's Shade. I don't think it's amazing, but having protection white could be great sometimes. But the Multani Maro-Sorcerer is doing a similar job. And in combination with the Oath of Druids, it's great. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for making a big donation to us, Celestial Heathen. And I hope we see us again soon.